A very good morning to all. This is P. Kavita, Assistant Professor from AAA Department from RMD Engineering College. And now we will first see the working principle of Rankine cycle from power plant engineering. Okay. So the Rankine cycle is a thermodynamic cycle on which the steam turbines work. So first we will first understand the components in a Rankine cycle. So the Rankine cycle comprises of a pump, a boiler, a turbine, and a condenser. So this is the similar working principle which is taking place in the thermal power plant or in steam power plants. Is it clear? So in the first step, what happens is the water has been sent through the pump. So the main purpose of having a pump over here is to increase the pressure value of the water. The pressure of the water will be increased, which will be equivalent to the boiler pressure. And then the water enters into the boiler, and this is where the coal has been burnt, and then the chemical energy and the heat energy from the coal has been utilized to convert water into first wet steam and then dry steam and then into superheated steam. So this is taking place in different stages in the boiler system, and the boiler operates at a constant pressure condition. So the steam which is leaving the boiler will be of superheated steam. This superheated steam enters into the turbine, and in the turbine what happens is the thermal energy from the steam has been converted into kinetic energy, which is utilized to rotate the turbine blades, thereby producing a mechanical energy. Since the turbine is connected to a generator through a connecting shaft, the generator which is connected to the turbine will convert this mechanical energy into electrical energy, and then the steam which is leaving the turbine will enter into a condenser. So a condenser we have will convert the steam back into liquid water again, and it will be sent to the pump for recycling. Okay, so this is the fundamental working principle of the Rankine cycle. And now to understand it technically, the pump is actually compressing the water and increasing the pressure to boiler pressure. So this process is termed as isentropic compression process, and the boiler is operating at constant pressure condition. The boiler is actually burning the coal, and the heat energy is utilized to convert water into superheated steam at constant pressure. Also, what happens in the turbine is when the steam enters into the turbine, the steam goes through an isentropic expansion process. So isentropic expansion is where the pressure of the steam will be reduced, because the pressure of the steam is what is driving the turbine blades. So after the rotation of the turbine, the steam coming out of the turbine will have a drop in the pressure value, and also the condenser will operate at a constant pressure condition. Okay, in the condenser there is only a phase shift from the steam being converted and condensed into water back again, which is through the condensation process. And this water, since it is very pure, it can be recycled over and over again. So this is the process taking place in the steam power plants. So in process 1 to 2, which is isentropic compression, in isentropic compression, water enters into the pump and as a saturated liquid, and it is compressed. Compressed is in the sense the pressure of the water has been increased to the equivalent to the boiler pressure. And in 2 to 3, it is constant pressure heat addition. So the boiler, as we know, it is operating at a constant pressure condition. So what is the change taking place over here is there is only addition of heat, which is denoted as Qin. There is addition of heat where the coal has been burnt and heat is produced to convert water into superheated steam. So that is what is mentioned here. Saturated water enters the boiler and leaves as superheated vapor at state. And in 3 to 4, which is the water, which is the superheated steam going through in the turbine, where there is isentropic expansion process. So the superheated vapor expands isentropically in the turbine and produces work. So the superheated steam, once it enters into the turbine, it is going through an isentropic expansion process. So during this expansion, the pressure of the steam will get reduced, and the thermal energy of the steam has been converted into kinetic energy, which is then converted into mechanical energy by the turbine blades through rotational force. And again in the condenser, constant pressure heat rejection. The condenser and the boiler both operates at constant pressure conditions, and the condenser is converting the steam back into water. So this is done by running cold water in tubes inside the condenser, which will cool down the hot steam and convert it into water again. These are the terminologies which is required to derive the efficiency of Rankine cycle. So H is the enthalpy, which is the total heat content of the system, and energy transfer takes place, which is denoted by change in enthalpy. So entropy is denoted by S, which is a quantitative measure of disorder or randomness in the system. So now let's understand the PV diagram and the TS diagram of a Rankine cycle. So 1 to 2 is the process in which the water is going through the pump, and what happens is the pump compresses the water, which is isentropic compression process. Thereby the pressure of the water has been first increased. And then what happens is 2 to 3 denotes the boiler operation, where the boiler is operating at constant pressure. So it is operating at constant pressure, which is denoted by a horizontal line over here. And this curve denotes the ideal Rankine cycle. And from 2 to 3, what happens is first the water has been converted into wet steam, and then it is converted into dry steam, and then to superheated steam. So in this region, the water is in liquid state. And when it is touching the curve, it is beginning to turn into wet steam. And once it touches this curve over here, it is then converted into dry steam. This entire process is the conversion of wet steam into dry steam. And beyond this curve line over here, the steam has been converted into superheated steam. Is it clear? So over here, the water is in normal water state. It has been first converted into wet steam, and then into dry steam, and then into superheated steam. So since the boiler is operating at constant pressure, it is denoted by a horizontal straight line over here. And then the superheated steam enters into the turbine and goes through isentropic expansion process, which means the pressure of the steam has been reduced in the turbine. The thermal energy from the steam has been converted into kinetic energy, which is then converted into rotational force by the turbine blade rotation. And then the steam leaving the turbine will enter into the condenser, which will also operate at constant pressure condition and convert the superheated steam back into liquid water again. So the boiler and the condenser are operating at constant pressure conditions. So that is how this PV diagram is drawn. P is the pressure of the water or steam, and V is the volume. Next is the TS diagram. So T denotes the temperature and S denotes the entropy. So this is the ideal graph, and the water which is entering into the pump over here is going through isentropic compression process, where the pressure has been increased. When there is an increase in pressure, obviously there is going to be a slight increase in the temperature, which is denoted by this line 1 to 2. And then what happens is once the water enters into the boiler, it is first converted into wet steam. Okay, this slanting line over here denotes the increase in temperature. And then once the water reaches the boiling point of water, 100 degrees Celsius, it will be converted into steam. But the steam is going to be in a wet steam state, which has got lot of moisture content in it. That is why it is called as wet steam. That wet steam will be further heated up at constant temperature, and then it will be converted into dry steam. So this heating process is taking place in order to absorb all the moisture content in the steam. And then it is further heated to convert the dry steam into superheated steam, where there is again a rise in temperature, which is denoted by the slanting line over here. So in the boiler, there are three processes taking place, which is first the rise in temperature to convert water into steam, and then the temperature is constant, which absorbs all the moisture content from the steam to convert it into dry steam, and then it is further heated up to convert the dry steam into superheated steam. And then the superheated steam enters into the turbine, where it goes through an isentropic expansion process. In isentropic expansion, when there is a drop in the pressure value, there is also going to be a drop in the temperature, because the heat energy from the steam will be transformed into the turbine blades, which is denoted by a drop in the temperature value. And then the steam which is entering into the condenser will now be converted into water again at constant pressure. So the boiler and the condenser are operating at constant pressure conditions. Thank you.